Hey everyone, welcome to GVN Interviews. My name is Mike Vaughn, and as you can see, I'm joined by some really awesome people to talk about their movie Low Life. And so we have the director, Tyler Michael James. I got that right this time?
Yes, that's good.
All right. Um, we got the co-writer, producer, actor, and music supervisor, Hunter Milano. Thank you for joining me. And last but certainly not least, Lucas Neff, who plays Jason, a pretty skeevy character, but we'll get more into that. So jumping right in, Tyler, this is your first movie, your first, I should say, first feature film, length film. What kind of drew you to this project?
Oh man, this project, the second Hunter told me the story, I was hooked. There was no question. Like from the second I knew the concept, I saw the finished product and knew we had to make it. Uh, but I would be remiss if I did not mention that Gasoline on the Fire was Uncut Gems coming out when Hunter and I saw Uncut Gems for the first time. Really getting that dose of anxiety through a film that was also super fun. That was the other thing is like the coalescence of those two ideas is what made this film, I think.
Yeah, and I was talking a little bit earlier before we started recording, but I was saying that I think the concept is so interesting of like to catch a predator, like kind of wrapped in this thriller. Um, so like Hunter, what kind of what drew you to write something like this with your writing partner? Was it Noah?
No Rotter.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were living together at the time and we got really into these videos of these real guys who do this in real life on YouTube, who, pose as underage kids online, catfish predators, film themselves confronting them in person. It's, they're really, surreal, intense watches that are upsetting, but like it just are it really like, activates fight or flight. They're fucked up videos, but there's like an innate dramatic quality to all of them. And we were just like, this is a space, because I spent a lot of time as a writer trying to figure out how to fit, how to do something in a new way. So like how to do like a thriller in a new way was something I was really interested in. And like using this sort of world like that I've never seen in a movie before, and applying like these sort of thriller elements to it just like made so much sense, especially once we came up with this idea of inviting a predator into your own home to play poker with you and your buddies. That was sort of what took it off. So yeah.
Yeah. Now, I guess this next question is kind of for everybody. Did this already had its premiere? I believe it was August 25th. Did you all get to attend that? And what was it like to watch this kind of on the big screen with an audience?
I guess I'll take that. It was cool. It was definitely a bizarre experience, but it was really awesome to see something. And when I was watching it in a group of people, I was really hit, especially a lot of the dialogue during the poker scene, where we're really leaning into this sort of manufactured, like grotesque locker room talk as a means of like conning the Jason character. I was like, man, this shit is hard to listen to. This is like not an enjoyable thing to listen to, but to like see the audience, up at the front of their seats, reacting verbally to like the big moments, like feeling the pulsating score in the theater and feeling people actually get excited and caught up in like the fun of this movie was really, really rewarding. And like talking to people about it after was pretty amazing too, because it's, everyone, it's, intentionally a movie built to be discussed. And so everyone had a ton of really smart shit to say. And I was like, all right, hell yeah. So it was cool.
Yeah, I'll say one thing about seeing it in the theater was that there's a moment in the movie where the story really reaches rock bottom, is the way we talk about it. And as that moment, it's a scene with Lucas, and as that scene happens, you really felt all the people around you react to it in real time. Really good reminder of like why theater experiences are so powerful.
Oh yeah. I mean that kind of segues nicely into what I was going to ask Lucas, which was, first of all, you're so great in this movie. like just absolutely chilling to the bone. Is it kind of interesting, or is it a nice change of pace to play like a darker kind of character?
Yeah, absolutely. One, thank you. That was a really nice thing to say. So much appreciated. A lot of that is owed to like Hunter's script and Tyler's direction, and me just trying to sort of stay out of the way of it. But yeah, honestly, I hadn't gotten a lot of opportunities to sort of play darker characters. I generally play like fairly nice guys, and that's totally fine. I have no issue with that. But it's super enjoyable. But it was a opportunity to get to do something that I don't get asked often to do, and it's sort of become, I think, like kind of the first. There's sort of a few different like kind of bad people that I played this year after that project. And I feel like it was sort of like my first step on the journey into darkness.
we
Yeah.
we corrupted Lucas Neff.
Yeah. They turned my soul black. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, it's definitely great, and that poker scene is so intense. How long did that take to film? I guess that would be for Tyler. How long did that entire sequence?
Oh man, these poor actors. So that took us. We spent like I think a full. I think we spent gosh 10 shoot days on the poker sequence. Because that was really like it's really a crux of the film, right? A lot of the film hinges on that. We began shooting. I was really hell bent. A lot of first time directors. I wanted to shoot everything chronological, especially because the actors, everybody had to not only know their lines, know where the story was going, the choices they were going to make as performers, but then also the poker. They also had to know when to put their chips in, when they were raising, what they were doing with their hand. It was very very impressive. So then as the shoot went on, as we got closer to day 10, we started doing a lot more block shooting to stay on schedule. So these guys had to remember so many versions of takes. I think it was a lot, but the poker scene was really a lot of fun to shoot. It was really cool to like set up the cameras and let the actors play off of each other in real time.
Yeah, and I think what's really interesting is, and I don't think a lot of people know this, is just doing like around the table kind of scene is like really hard to do, just because you have to keep everybody in continuity and like everybody's sort of like having it match. So watching it, I was like, man, I bet like it's such a great scene, but I figured it was probably such a pain in the ass to actually execute. So yeah, well done. So now I'm kind of curious, was there any like ad-libbing? Do you allow that on your movies, or?
Yeah, I try to opt for a lot of preparation in pre-production, just a lot of storyboarding, a lot of planning on where the camera's going to go, where the lights are going to go, what it's going to look and feel like, so that when we get to set, the actors, there's enough of a foundation for the actors to explore. Right, there are some amazing shots in that movie that were not planned. It was simply because the actors were moving, and we were able to like we had done enough preparation that the camera was able to follow them as they got more into character, which was really really fascinating to watch.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of amazing to kind of have that flexibility to sort of, as you say, be prepared, but then also allow yourself the room to explore different things. And yeah, like there's definitely some really memorable performances. I know Wes isn't here, but wow, he is amazing. I guess this is for everybody. What was it like working with Wes, and like was it like he brings a certain energy, so was there like a temptation to sort of match that energy, or like I don't know, kind of play like I think y'all play off him so well.
If I can leap in, one, Wes is awesome. What a great guy. Hey Wes, if you're watching this, what up, dude? Good work, man. And then I think that he does like I think like if you see a lot of that sort of um, you know the sort of those online guys kind of have like, they all have this like intense kind of energy about them. And I think that was something that Wes really captured well, was this sort of like insane, like aggressive assault into the camera lens at all times. Like, constantly just like on the attack with his energy. And I think the great thing about that is that you get to, because that is like a real thing, I think, that exists in the world, like that sort of persona. You're allowed to react realistically as well, where you can sort of be taken aback by it a little bit, and you can kind of underplay things, and you can sort of do more evasive. You can make it some evasive choices as opposed to just like confronting and matching. Though, I mean, there are points in the script where it is just like kind of necessary to get really energetic. And then just to say, to your earlier question, I think I may have ad-libbed some in like the chaos of certain scenes. But for the most part, I think I was I stuck pretty closely to Hunter's script. Like, I think it was all pretty much there.
Yeah, I was gonna highlight a certain moment that's like one of my favorite moments in the movie that Lucas ad-libs. It's when Jason wins one of the hands. I think it might be the second, maybe it's the first, and he's gathering the chips, and he says, "Come to me," and it's this great moment. It's like one of my favorite moments in the movie, and that's all Lucas. It's great.
Yeah, all the dumb stuff is me.
No, but I think it's adding those little touches that I feel like really makes the character feel real. It's interesting you were talking about YouTube videos. Did you all watch any particular like YouTube personalities to kind of get that sort of vibe?
I would ask, for me, I was more interested in kind of focusing on like a type of guy that I see online. It's kind of something Lucas was getting at earlier. And it's something that Wes really like fully committed, really embraced, was this idea of these men online who were extremely performative in everything they do. No matter what their channel or thing is, there's just like an extreme level of performance. And then in Benny's case, right, where he is, I don't want to give too much away, but the things that drive Benny, it's not necessarily like justice for survivors of crimes like this, right? It's something a little more complicated, and so in a way, he's also performing this like vigilante character, and so that to me was the thing that inspired me, was like seeing people online who are extremely performative on social media, and kind of playing characters to different degrees.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. And I know, like, I think Hunter, you were saying earlier about like wanting to sort of like start a conversation with this movie, and I guess this is also for y'all. Like what do you think would be the ideal takeaway from this film? Like, what would you like want an audience to kind of come out of it, like, thinking?
Jesus Christ, the internet is fucked.
Yeah.
Like, run away from it, quickly.
Yeah, it's a lot of, I think it's, for me, there's a lot of ways to, again, yeah, without getting too much into what happens in the movie, the multitude of ways that men, and young men in particular, can like weaponize deep pain and ignore it and put a bunch of stuff on top of it, whether, and for Benny, and again, watching these videos, to kind of hop back to what you were saying earlier, yeah, there was nobody in particular. It was really just like, what was really exciting about coming up with the idea for this movie was just like reacting to the raw elements of these guys, which is that they have like a ton of, they're like adrenaline junkies. They seem to be obsessed with like making somebody, like humiliating people, and they seem to really love the attention. So a lot of like coming up with Benny was just taking those and be like, what type of guy would do that? And so I think the takeaway, is really, oh my God, look at the tools that this guy has created to ignore a lot of stuff and project it out into this, pretty intense thing that he does, which is this vigilante, how to catch a predator thing. And then look at how much chaos can stem from that. Look at how much this guy's pain and all the different things he does to mask it, essentially, like havoc that wreaks upon, you know, the people in his life that he cares about, people that he wants to bring down, and then it kind of comes back to him. So that's I feel like, you know, that's what we were trying to do, at least.
Yeah, get a therapist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, men will literally
You should try to get a
catch
therapist.
predators and ruin their entire lives in one night instead of going to therapy or whatever.
I'll tell you, it's for me the big thing I wanted to leave with audiences, because everyone, this movie's divisive, kind of. A lot of people have had a lot of different reactions to it, and the way people feel about the characters at the end of the film kind of dictates their interpretation of it, I'm finding. But I would say the movie is trying to speak truth to like the trauma that these characters are experiencing, right? And also like the trauma of the characters they are talking about. Like everything around this film is kind of made to feel like that experience, which is not necessarily a fun experience, but it's an honest one. It's like an authentic, real film with a lot of feelings in it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like that's probably a good place to wrap. But I believe the movie's on VOD currently, and I think everybody should check it out. It's like an incredible film. You all did a fantastic job. You know, it's definitely a very tense, interesting, and I think very thought-provoking movie. So, you know, I really appreciate y'all taking the time to talk to me about it. And yeah, you should check it out like immediately. So
Thank you very much. This has been a blast.